What is going on, guys? This is Johnny of Fish Community on YouTube, and welcome back to another video in the Android Studio app development tutorials. And yes, this time we're actually going to start with the advanced tutorial series. Isn't it great? Finally, after I covered all of this general stuff, now we can finally get into this, okay? So we're going to continue with the Contact Manager app right now, and what I have planned for today is actually selecting an image from your gallery and then setting an image view to this image, and yeah, basically just using this image on your contact. So that's what I have planned for today, and that's what we're gonna do. So displaying this in the contact list might take a little too long, so I'm probably gonna put this in the next tutorial then, and in the next tutorial I think we can start with something new, or the tutorial after the next tutorial. Okay, sorry, I just kind of have to coordinate things a little bit. Alright, so let's get started, guys, shall we? By the way, I've already recorded this tutorial now, I think about 3 times now. It's really, I don't know, my mind is blown by my lack of, I don't know, skills to record this video. Anyways, so let's get into this right now. So you're gonna need to get into your project hierarchy or whatever it is, and then we're gonna need our resource folder right here. And as you can see, there are a few drawable things in here, because what we want to do, we want to of course create this image view, and then we want to display a default image which is going to display whenever no image is actually selected. So that was one thing we want to do, and to do that I downloaded this image from the internet, which is called nouserlogo.png, and this is basically the default image we're going to display if the user has actually not selected an image from his gallery. So right now we're gonna need to go into this resource folder. We're gonna go to new and a new directory, and now we're gonna create this new directory, and you're just gonna call it drawable, because what this basically means, this HDPI, MDPI, this is basically if you have a tablet or different screen sizes, then it's basically gonna say, okay, we're gonna just need a medium quality picture or something, and then you can apply different drawables into this. So this is basically just different image resolutions which go in here for either a really big tablet or a smaller one or just a normal phone. So this is just all there is to it. So we're just gonna create a new folder called drawable, which can be used on any screen. So right now we're just gonna need this default image, and we're gonna drag and drop it into the folder we created just a second ago. So hit OK, and yes, this is actually gonna move your image, so it's not gonna be there anymore. If you want to keep it like a backup or something, then you can do this and just create a new folder or something. I don't know. It's really your personal preference. So now, since we have this in the drawable folder, we can actually get started with the image view. So we're going to just drag and drop this image view from our palette into this beautiful app window right here. And what you're going to notice immediately is that there's just this little blue square, I guess it is. And that is because the layout width and the layout height is set to wrap content. So what this basically means is that it kind of gonna resize the image view and make it kind of fit the image or something. So it's not gonna scale it to a size we want. It's gonna scale it to the image's size, which is usually really bad, because the user could just say, okay, hi, I'm gonna put this like 1280 by 720 thing, and then we pretty much fuck, because what happens if you put 1280 right here? This happens, which is really, really bad, because you're gonna have a hard time actually seeing where the freaking image went. So what we want to do, we want to set just a normal size, like 100 dp, and then gonna do the same for the width, or for the height, I mean. And now I'm just gonna center this horizontally. So I just go and expand this gravity right here, use center and then horizontal, and that's gonna be a center. And now we're gonna apply a margin, because it looks kind of stupid if it's right below this header or title or whatever it is. So I'm just gonna put a margin of 10 dp. Okay, so that's great. And now we just need to kind of reference our default image. And to do that, okay, first I'm gonna actually rename the ID. So it's just gonna be img view contact image. I know that's a horrible name, but I can't really come up with any good names right now. And now let's go to this source and select our image. Here we go. No user logo. Hit OK. And then you can see that there's our no user logo, and it's looking perfectly fine. And that's exactly what we're going to use. So now what I want to do now, we're going to get into the coding force. What I want to do, I want to basically create a little on-click listener. Like, basically, it's kind of as if you were clicking on this button right here. It's just going to apply this on-click listener to the image as well. So not the same one, of course. We're going to create a new one, which is basically just going to start an intent, which you use to select the image, and we just gonna it's gonna send back some data, and this data we're gonna use it and use this data to basically tell the image view where the source file is on your Android phone. So this, you can use internal storage or external storage. It doesn't really matter at all for this method, which we're going to use, because we're going to use intents, which is usually a pretty good thing. We're going to work with intents a lot in the future. I mean, not really a lot, but you're going to kind of see it again, definitely. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So right here, we're going to, right below this edit text things, we're going to create an image view. And I already imported this because, as I said, I recorded this tutorial now about 4 times or something, and I always messed it up. So I'm really sorry. Hopefully it's going to go well this time. So now let's use contact. Yeah, last tutorial I mistyped that, and I was like, oh my god, I can't freaking find the method. Oh my god, what am I doing? And it was horrible, really. I should post some outtakes, shouldn't I? It would be kind of funny. We see them always pretty much raging. Okay, anyways, enough. Image view, contact image view. Yeah. Contact. Oh, actually, it's contact image view. Horrible name, I know. But let's be precise about that. And then do the same here. Same thing here as we did with all the edit texts. So contact image view equals to, and then we're gonna cast this to an image view, of course, and then find view by ID r.id dot image view contact image. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, so now we're gonna set the on click listener right here. So we did the same thing up here with the button. And by the way, I just want the user to click on the image because I think it's quite practical. But if you want another button and then, you know, the user clicks on it and then all of the stuff which we're gonna add in a second is gonna happen, then that's totally fine. It's your preference, as I said, and you can do that. But I'm just gonna stick to my method, I guess, because it's practical, as I said. So now let's do contact image view dot set on click listener. And then, oh, let's not use the U keyword. Let's use the on-click listener because I think it's going to create that for us automatically. It's not. Well, this is the first time that it did not create this. Okay, now it's doing that. Okay, that's fine. What did I do here? Sorry. Okay, so now on this on-click, I think you already know this. Now we can just use this and set, or just use all of our code. Alright, so as I already mentioned, we're going to use intents for this. So you're going to need to create a new instance of this intent. So intent equals new intent. Beautiful. Okay. And now we're going to need to set the type. So intents are usually used like kind of, it's going to create a chooser or something. So let's say you want to send an email directly from your app, which we're going to add as well. So guys, this is kind of a little thing we're going to add pretty soon. And then you're going to set the type, and this is going to be a string, so we kind of know, okay, what do we want the user to pick from, like email clients, or do we want to pick like different images, like this also applies to something like Google Drive images and all that. I think you know it, and you're gonna kind of see what I mean by that. So I'm just gonna use image, and then this placeholder. And then intent.set action. We're definitely gonna do more with intents, so don't worry about that. And now we're just gonna do intent dot, and this is really a cool thing as well. Action get content right here, so it has all of these strings saved in this intent class. And then we can just start an activity for result. And what this basically means is that we're gonna get a result from what we're doing with this intent. So it's basically we're gonna get the path or the URI of the image. We're gonna get that back. And yeah, start activity for results. So what we need is now the intent. And what we're going to do is we're going to do intent.createChooser, like that. And then we're going to need to reference the intent. And now we can basically put a string where it's basically just going to say, okay, select picture. And this, by the way, is if you have different things like just the gallery. So on my emulator, I just have the gallery, but usually there's things like the Google Drive images or something else, like in your photo camera, you might have a different kind of image resource in your phone, and that is basically where this chooser is really good, because it's just going to say, okay, please select a picture, and then it's going to display all the apps which support that. So that's pretty cool. And now I'm just going to select contact, image, photo, whatever. And then we're going to do, just as a code, you can come up with the code, I'm just going to use a 1. So that's basically the code we're going to be looking for. And if this is our result code, then we know, okay, this is actually the result we created, like from this intent we started. I'm gonna show you how this is done right now, because there's another like on these onCreate method, and there's also onPostCreate and all that. And just like these, we have something called onActivityResult. So this result, so whatever is happening in this intent, it's gonna be sent back to us, which is really amazing. So right now, we're just gonna create a new void, so public void, and we don't actually need to override this, which is a plus. onActivityResult, and then we're gonna do integer, and then it's, of course, we have like a little request code, and then we have another integer which is the result code, and then we have the intent, and then it's gonna return an intent as well. So I'm just gonna use intent data. All right. So now we basically just gotta check if the result of the intent is alright. So let's say the user presses back, then it's gonna return cancel, I guess. So then we don't really want to do anything with the results, and we're just gonna stop. So right now we're gonna create a new if statement, which is gonna be if result code. I call this res code equals to result okay. Okay, which is right here. Result okay. And then we're gonna be doing another if statement. I think we just need one line for that if statement. And we're just gonna do if request code equals to 1. So this is the request code we put up here. And again, I typed the whole thing here. I'm sorry. And as I said, we just need one line. And this simple line is just gonna be image view. So we need the contact image view dot set image URI, and now we're just going to do data, which is the intent dot get data. That's it. And now we are basically setting the contact image, so the image we added right here, to the image the user picked. Okay, so this is pretty much already the code. So now let's check it out and see if it's working. Alright guys, so we're in our app again. And again, I'm sorry for this really early Android version, but the emulation really kind of weird right now with the current Android Studio version. But okay, fine. So right here you can see we have our default image, and now we should be able to click on it, and then we should get into our gallery. So if I click on it, yes, there we are in my gallery. And I recently downloaded an image from the internet, and this is going to be the image we're going to use for the contact, so I'm just going to click on it, and now here we are. Isn't that beautiful? So there it is. There's the image. It's perfectly fine. It works. It's amazing. And as you can see right here, we have this as our contact image. Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching. This is what we did right now, and in the next tutorial we're actually going to display that in our contact list as well. So we're going to add an image view to our list view item, and then we're going to see what we're going to do next. I think it's going to be the email stuff. It's pretty interesting as well, and since we're just messing with intents right now, it's going to be a good topic. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.